Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Newsletter. I'm your host, Moore Jean, and as the title speaks to, we're going to speak to a lot about the energies that have been taking place since the new moon. And there's been a lot of them, a lot. And the great thing about this is I feel that a lot of you have come a long way in understanding that as these energies shift, what you're beginning to recognize and realize is happening within you. And as you keep going out into this beautiful place that we call Mother Earth, that we call Gaia, however it is you want to define it, we begin to see that it's reflecting back to us what's taking place within us. For me, it's been so experiential since the new moon. So much more of insight and so much more clarity of the world that I am first, of the cosmos that exists within me first. And as things continue to, probably level up, especially since the beginning of 2024, because this is going to be a very massive and beautiful and wonderful time. Yet we also know there's probably going to be that other side of it where there's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of turmoil, a lot of possibly just seeing what may be taking place through what we call the television may give us those times where we question what's real, what's happening. And this is the year where we are beginning to understand that 2024 is bringing forth so much more clarity, so much more understanding of the world that was and that's changing. And there's still that understanding that there's still that scale that's going to be put in place. There always has been, there always will be. So this is about the balance within self first, before it's the balance you begin to see outside yourself. So as we begin to continue on in this new year, and even though we've had our first full moon, the energies have been like just off the chain. At least for me, it has. So as I get up this morning or to this new day, I begin to recognize and realize that as I look at the ocean's reflecting what's within me. And it's beautiful. It's clear. It's pristine. There's a calmness. There's such a blissfulness to the being that I am in this moment. And at this time, I know that there's a lot of you that are feeling just the waves, okay? You have the in and the out, the in and the out, because of how the moon affects this world, this planet, us, because everything that exists outside of us begins within us first. So I know that there's probably those moments that the emotions you're feeling can be and feel so overwhelming that you just don't know what's going on or what to do to help just ease or get through what it is that it feels like it's a dueling within you, and it is. It's because of that motion, the motion of the ocean's pull and draw, pull and draw. And this is a time where we're beginning to really understand that we are important. We are of value. We are significantly more important than anything else that's taking place. And in that understanding, we understand more now that it has to take place within us first before we can begin to see it out here in this beautiful place. It has so much to show us. It's just, what are we changing within us to see that, to have that reflect back to us? So in this time, this is where that, the dueling aspects of the feminine and the masculine are finding ways to recognize one another within us, to see that when we come to the temple and realize and recognize who is sitting at our throne. Who is it sitting at your throne in your temple, in this place, in space in which you traverse this world in? And as we continue to reflect on this, the temple is where one of two individuals or situations, so to speak, may be taking place. And if you're the one sitting, there's one is you, and you're the one sitting at that throne, on that throne. And you're looking out upon the vastness of the world that you are meant to rule. And in that, what you're doing is you're looking at the people, your DNA, for that is your people. It is you. And you're saying, it's time to do a little bit of cleanup. It's time to do some clearing. It's time to see where the greatest issues that we feel that we need to reflect upon or look at exist. Then we begin to come up with the solutions that fixes the world that we are first by just merely observing, dropping judgment of self, and always approaching any and all situations you're going through with the enormous amount of love that you are. Always, in all ways, come to self with love. For when we drop judgment, we become truly an observer. We become an observer of the individual that we are, given what this world has shown us, to understand the world within us, to know what to change, or to see that we can shift to a greater aspect of ourselves. To understand that it's not about good or evil. It's not about black or white. It's not about up and down so much. That takes place normally as we continue to reflect on this. Because we keep having epiphanal moments within us because we're like, oh, I didn't even have to feel that way. I didn't even have to approach that situation in the way that I did. So what we're doing is we're taking a lot of these programs and we're taking a lot of this misinformation or this misguidance, and we are gifting ourselves as individuals with the guidance that we are given to self. For we're coming to a place and space within ourselves to understand that the value that we are, we must put there first and foremost. Or number two, you have someone else sitting at your throne and your kingdom is going crazy. And this is where the chaos and a little bit of that, anxiety and fear comes in, so to speak. Although I do not like having to use words like this. However, these are the words that are utilized to understand where I'm going with this message. When we get to that place where we're feeling that anxiety and we're just like, what do I do? I don't know how to feel. This is just all so much. I don't know what to do with these feelings or these emotions because it's all happening, it seems, at once. And in that's where we have to step back. And we have to recognize, okay, who's sitting at the throne? Is it the programs? Is it the information I've taken in that I've put a belief system to that does not help me in my growth that I need to replace? You just have to just recognize what's going on in your temple. Who's there as you try to have that meeting with self, with the masculine and the feminine, to bring the three together to create the whole, the one that helps in the centering and bringing that balance for us here. For it exists with the higher self, with the higher soul. It's sitting there and it's being patient. It's still there and it's going, hey, I'm here. All you must do is just recognize that I'm here. Come to this table. Come to the meeting place. Let's get rid of the mischiefs. Let's get rid of the minions that are running amok in your kingdom. And to understand that when we come at it at a place where, for me, when I figured out and realized that, man, I got all these minions and all these mischief makers in my mind going crazy in my temple. But as I begin to recognize this and how and recognize the thoughts that was happening, I was like, man, this is crazy. I mean, is this really who I am? And as I would recognize and observe those thoughts that I was having, all I could do was laugh. laugh and look at it as it was just a cartoon for me, because I had to start stepping back and being a little more easier with myself, simpler with myself, to recognize that some of these thoughts were just like, where are these coming from? But in that understanding and knowing that they were just thoughts that were just, you know, coming at me, given the environment that I was in, as I observed them, all I could do was laugh and say, there's no truth to that. There's no validity to that thought that carries a feeling that is a part of who I am. That's not who I am. And then as you do this and you observe more about who you are, and you start, then that it puts you in a position and place to observe the world that's going on around you. And then you begin to realize and recognize people where they are. And you'll look at that and you'll say, I know who that is. That used to be me. And as you see them having whatever experience they're having, and it seems like it's a little like, whoa, calm down. It's not that serious. Then you begin to realize that you're not laughing at them. You laugh at understanding where they are, knowing that that's not who they are, because this was once you. This was once me. We have all been there. We are all there. We still, at a level and degree, as a human race, we're just traversing this world, figuring out, what is this about? What are we to do? Where do I fit into all this? And where you begin to understand where you fit into all this is, you don't have to take on a character any longer that you do not wish to play a role of. This is where you begin to understand you can either play a greater role in this movie, so to speak, where you either are the main character, excuse me, or you are the director. And in that's where we begin to recognize and realize, and we can go in and begin to just look at the areas of who we are within here, just sitting down and just seeing who you are. I mean, it's such a beautiful experience to traverse who you are, to do away and say, no, that's not me. That's not me. Oh, that sounds good. I think I'll hang on to that for a little while and see if I can, you know, make this a little bit more of something that signifies more about who I am. So in all this, as this new year is still really taking off, January was more of that reflective time. January was one of those that was like really in your face kind of new moons. So as February has just come in just 2 days ago, and today's 2/2/2024. This is a time and period where still some of what was taking place in January is still going to show up. But here in February, this is the time where we start to begin to understand, hey, this is where we start to prepare for our new garden. We're getting out there and we're getting ready to get everything cleaned up so we can get ready to till that land. So that way we can get ready after that to prepare the soil for the new seeds. So as you continue on in this, and you know, February comes and it goes, March comes and you're preparing to see that it's time to plant more and more seeds, given what it is that you want to see in your garden, see how it flourishes and grows. It's all up to you, because that garden's within. So do any and everything that you can to keep yourself grounded. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Always take time for self. Even if it's just 5 minutes, take time for yourself. This is about you. It's okay to be a little selfish, because when you understand what selfishness truly represents, it doesn't mean that selfishness has to always be at the expense of another. It just only means that you're doing what you need to do to be with self, to center self. And always have patience. Have patience, because Rome wasn't built in a day, and it surely wasn't destroyed in a day either. Remember to always step back and have that patience that reminds you that the love that you are still exists within you, because you are that love. So I want to end this here today and just let you know continue to come in, continue to have conversations with everyone that's in the Telegram group. Keep continuing to watch to see what, new experiences and ideas, or, creative processes and guides and tools that we continue to present to each of you to help you traverse this beautiful place in as many ways as we can. I hope that I've been able to give you some value and worth in these words that I am utilizing here in conveyance. And know that we are here. We accept you for who you are and where you are. And we look forward to seeing and witnessing each and every single one of you come more and more into who you are. So I bid you a wonderful evening, morning, new day. And know that everything is okay. No matter what's going on, no matter what's taking place, everything is okay. In the end, everything is okay. Have a great day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy you. And we'll see you later.